for the first time, Trevor Catalano will lead the Whelen Modified Tour to the green flag on the inside lane along one of the veterans. It's Patrick Emmerling to the outside lane. Green flag is waving here at Riverhead, and outside out in front, Patrick Emmerling noses ahead, but Catalano rallies back to the bottom as they compete for that top spot.
Catalano moves up the raceway, makes slight contact with the one car of Emmerling. Emmerling always had problems here at Riverhead Raceway, and a couple of years ago in his family-owned car was able to start to turn the trick. But right now he runs second to Catalano. They head out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
The Catalano family is used to running on large, wide-open racetracks, and we've seen Trevor be so good at those racetracks early on in the season, but we are now into a stretch of 3 races of bull rings. It was Monadnock 2 weeks ago, Riverhead here today. In a couple of weeks in June, we'll go to Seacon Speedway, but that doesn't seem to hold Trevor Catalano back. He jumps out to the early race lead. He's able to get by Patrick Emmerling, but was able to get back to run modified competition. Kyle Bonsignor here. Now his cousin right behind him in the 51. He spent a lot of time racing here. Meanwhile, trouble, turn 4. It is Jake Johnson, last week's winner at Monadnock Speedway, who has gone around. Left rear tire is down on the 3 car. He's able to get it rolling once again. They got down into the corner. Johnson was on the bottom, and the car just snapped around. I wonder if it was a left rear tire that just went down.
Green flag back in the air. Emmerling with a good start. Catalano gets sideways. Emmerling way up the hill. Here comes Lutz to the back bumper.
But Catalano maybe did not get the tires cleaned off before he went back under the green flag, stepped on the gas, the car just went sideways, and everybody got into him from behind. Watch the cars drift up the racetrack a little bit. Catalano gets the boot. Meanwhile, we've got trouble down in turns 1 and 2. Multiple cars involved. We'll take a look at what happened. Watch the leaders up front, as Steve noted. They got walked up the racetrack and stacked everybody up, and it wasn't until mid-pack when finally the accordion came together, and that's when the 15 of Salamito got involved in the damage to the back of the 81. But it actually started up front. You see Emmerling way up the hill, 56 of Catalano way up the hill, and then everybody else really nowhere else to go. Greg Lutz on the outside, the quickest car in practice here yesterday, line up side by side. Green flag is out. Emmerling and Lutz toe-to-toe, dead even across as they go for turn 2.
And Emmerling again up the raceway, but that allows the 46 to gain the momentum on the top side of the raceway, and Craig Lutz comes to the lead. Here comes Ron Silk.
Silk, little by little, marching forward, goes to the inside, picks up second. Battle up front for the race lead. Ron Silk goes to the inside of Craig Lutz and completes the pass in turn 3. Our 4th leader of the event, Trevor Catalano, Patrick Emmerling, Craig Lutz, and now Ron Silk out in front, 30 laps in. Trouble on the back straightaway, the 54 of Trevor Catalano off the pace. They were splitting him left and right on the backstretch, and his car now pauses at the entrance of turn 3 to bring us under the 3rd caution. They split him 3 wide on the back straightaway. Let's see if we can see what happened. There's a little bit of contact between he and the 15 of Timmy Salamito, and then there was Tommy Catalano slow on the back straightaway.
It made you just be a flat. Right there, they made contact. And like it could just be a flat tire for Catalano.
And then you've got Justin Bonsignor, Anthony Cecily, row number 3. The pace truck is in, ready to turn them loose one more time here at Riverhead, and they are off and running. Ron Silk with a great start, able to get ahead of Craig Lutz. Lutz, though, putting the heat on, and here comes Kyle Bonsignor to challenge up top.
Lutz immediately dropped to the inside to get behind the 16. He didn't want to get hung on the outside. But speaking of getting hung on the outside, here comes Kyle Bonsignor. But he'll feel the heat to the inside from Patrick Emmerling in car number 1. And Emmerling's been hanging around here early on. He's got a good car right now as he comes back to the 3rd spot.
Emmerling has been outstanding here at this racetrack. He's got 5 runner-up finishes, a victory, and a 7th over the past several starts here. He has gotten very good here, and he said one of the reasons why is he's figured out how to be patient at a racetrack where the chrome horn is probably one of the biggest tools you have in the tool shed.
And then all of a sudden, little by little, he's starting to get much better in car number 32.
3 wide for a moment as Tom Rogers got into the back of Tyler Ripkema. That put Doug Colby to the inside lane. The big loser is going to be Jack Hanley, and then some. Hanley into Beatty across the start finish line. Caution. Number 4 is out. Beatty did not hit the outside wall. I think he'll be okay. He'll continue on. And Jack Hanley, if anything, suspension damage. He'll cut right across Ron Silk to try to stay on the lead lap and get ahead of the pace truck.
They approached him very quickly.
You see they were 3 wide at the time. Beatty was down at the bottom, Johnson in the middle, and then the 45 of Jack Hanley up top. He was just going backwards and just ran out of room, and Johnson came up the racetrack, got into the side of the 45. They went spinning, and that brought out the caution. Another look at it from behind, just simply ran out of room off turn 4. Craig Lutz up top as we rack him up one more time. Green flag goes out. This time, though, Lutz does not dive to the inside lane. He'll challenge to the outside of Ron Silk.
Craig Lutz, car number 46, to the outside of Ron Silk. Silk with a good run back on the inside. He'll lead at the line. Ron Silk to the inside. Craig Lutz to the outside. Lutz settles in behind him. Here comes Justin Bonsignor.
The race in September, the outside lane was the preferred lane, and everybody ran up top. Craig Lutz sideways in second. 3 wide behind. Kyle Bonsignor to the bottom for a moment, but both Patrick Emmerling and Justin Bonsignor gave the 46 enough room to gather it back in, and I think that saved the entire field.
Bonsignor right now looks pretty strong on the outside of Patrick Emmerling, and here comes Austin Beers with him in car number 64.
Elects to follow in the tire tracks of Patrick Emmerling as Bonsignor nearly collects the outside wall off turn 4, gathered it back in. Emmerling is sideways and out of shape. 3 wide behind them. Here comes Trevor Catalano to the top side.
Out of nowhere, here comes the 56 car of Trevor Catalano.
Here comes Anthony Cecily down on the apron trying to challenge Austin Beers.
What a job. Oh, contact there. Around goes the 56 of Catalano. Oh, a bunch of cars get involved.
32, Tyler Ripkema. Brody has got some damage there as well. The 88, Roger Turbush, and Tyler Catalano in it as well. Mark Stewart trying to pull to the bottom lane and get away from that. But, boy, look at the damage to the back of the 32 car. Get a look here. And contact from behind from the 19 of Anthony Cecily finally sent Catalano around in front of everybody. His brother collected in the incident.
Be over. A lot of damage to the number 56 of your pole sitter.
So an update from NASCAR on why the one car came down pit road. It wasn't taped necessarily. It was taped, but it was holding a body brace, which was sticking past the car. It was metal. If it came across another car, it would have punctured it. So they had to come down and get that taken off. Green flag goes back out. Silk back on the go pedal.
Much better this time by for Ron Silk as Craig Lutz in car number 46 comes to the second spot. Tyler Ripkema back on pit road. Justin Bonsignor to third, but here comes Cecily to the outside.
And you can see everybody getting up on the wheel a little bit more. You've got 2 drivers in row 4 that are local favorites, J.R. Bertuccio and Tom Rogers, and they continue to charge to the front of the field. Green flag is out. It's Silk and Lutz once again.
Here comes the 51 car now. Justin Bonsignor, but look at Craig Lutz on the outside. Ronnie Silk battles back to the inside. It'll be Lutz at the line this time. Craig Lutz, car number 46, with a good run down the back straightaway as he'll try to come out in front of Ron Silk. But Silk again battles back to the inside, and Ron Silk will lead that time by.
Ron Silk, a half a car length advantage at the line, but Craig Lutz is not going to fade away easily up there in the top groove. He'll hang tough to the outside. Ron Silk to the bottom, still not quite able to clear Craig Lutz this time through.
What a job by Ronnie Silk, giving Craig Lutz plenty of room to the high side of the raceway, and Silk continues to move back to the front spot, but Lutz is still right there on the outside.
And they're 2x2 through the top 8. You go back to the top 10, even still side by side there, and they are stacked up like they're running a pace lap here at the racetrack, but they are full speed. Inside lane, Ron Silk with a slight advantage, but the outside groove continues to come in until turn 2. Now Lutz gives Ron Silk a shot getting down into turn 3.
Ron Silk, car number 16, your race leader. The 46 car of Craig Lutz is second, Justin Bonsignor to third, but he feels the heat to the high side from Austin Beers in car number 64. The gloves are off, buddy.
Battle of the Titans. We're here in the Coliseum in Riverhead, New York, and the Gladiators are about ready to go at it. Ron Silk, Justin Bonsignor on the front row. Will tempers flare? Will cooler heads prevail? It's Ron Silk who gets the advantage here on the start. Justin Bonsignor is going to have to battle with Craig Lutz. Lutz keeping the nose to the inside. He wants to get back to second.
Craig Lutz with a good run to the inside. Bonsignor on the outside, though, will hold the second spot that time by. Here comes Lutz on the bottom. Ron Silk loves what he sees in his rearview mirror as they battle, and he's able to pull away.
Well, you know Lutz and Bonsignor just using up their equipment. Lutz able to get through. Bonsignor will tap to the back bumper of Craig Lutz, tries to root him up out of the way, but not close enough to make it work. A header pipe comes off a car and drifts right across the front of the racetrack, and it's hit by Ronnie Silk. Silk hits the debris off turn number 4 as a caution flag was coming out, and he's got damage to the front of the race car. It hit it square directly under the race car, and I don't know whether or not there'll be any damage from a radiator standpoint, but Ron Silk hit that thing about as square as you could as it rolled down the banking in front of the race leader.
And it held up. It was up top. And when all the cars went by, it started to roll down, and Ron Silk, it went right in front of his car. Green flag back in the air. Ron Silk with a good restart. Here comes Bonsignor.
Here comes Lutz, though. Lutz nearly got the bumper to the outside lane of Silk, and he'll tap him into turn 4. Now they are side by side for second again as Ron Silk able to open up 2 car lengths over Justin Bonsignor, battling with Craig Lutz for second.
Exactly what he wants to see, but now Bonsignor with a clear run to the inside comes to the second spot, and here comes Austin Beers. What a ride for J.R. Bertuccio.
Then Justin Bonsignor, trouble, turn 4. Anthony Cecily into the outside wall. Caution flag is out. Heavy damage to the right front tire of Anthony Cecily. He ran out of racetrack at the exit of turn 4 and pancaked the right side with a hard hit to that 19 car. Okay, let's get another look at it. Cecily was running in the outside groove, and car just took off. Not able to tell whether or not there was contact from behind or if something went away, but the car darted aggressively to the right. And who will capture the checkered flag today in Riverhead? Green flag comes out. Ron Silk, an outstanding start, breaks free. Austin Beers looks to the inside. He wants second under Justin Bonsignor.
Great run by Austin Beers to the inside. Again, we said he's been patient all day long, and now the patience is paid off as Austin Beers comes to position number 2.
What a drive by Austin Beers. He has been very patient throughout the day today, and that has been the factor. Third now for Justin Bonsignor. J.R. Bertuccio working the top side of Craig Lutz.
Does Beers have enough to get to Ronnie Silk?
Lap traffic up ahead may become a factor here with 3 to go. It's Gary McDonald, the head of the race leaders. He's in turn 2. Race leaders in turn 1. But Austin Beers remains about 1 to 2 car lengths behind Ron Silk. Silk going just fast enough to keep Austin Beers at bay.
198 laps down. Oh,
caution, it's Tom Rogers who has spun off turn 4 as the field was about to come to the white flag, but we will be set for overtime. Rogers spins that car around. Green-white checker. Overtime finish. 2 laps in the first attempt at overtime to settle it here at Riverhead Raceway. They're stacked up and ready for the restart. Rolling to the inside lane. Ron Silk is going, but Austin Beers keeps the wheel to the outside in turn 2.
great run by Beers down the back straightaway. He gets to the outside of Ronnie Silk.
White flag will be out, this time by. The race will be official. Silk to the bottom. Beers side by side on the top side. Can he keep the nose alongside and challenge for the win? He'll drop in line behind. Beers with a tap to the bumper. Silk up the racetrack, but the checkered flag is out. And for the third time this season, Ron Silk has won on the Whelen Modified Tour.